So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and well, here is my tier list video. But let me hit record on my OBS. Give me a moment. Okay. So, all right. How was the Chinese Grand Prix? I mean, I really liked the sprint race, but this was one of those weekends where the sprint was better than the actual race. I mean, it does not mean the actual race was boring. It was action packed, but the title of this video should not be the Chinese Grand Prix. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna go ham on Lance Stroll because what is this guy doing day after day? I know lots of people are like, oh no, Lance Stroll has so many haters, it's unfair to hate on him. But this guy just keeps proving why on and on again, and I will get on to why. So let's start with so how did the weekend go? Practice, nothing too special. Oh, Stroll topped the times on practice, surprising. And then sprint qualifying. I loved sprint qualifying because Q1 and Q2 was okay, it was just as normal. And then Q3, down came the rain. And my god, that was amazing. It was like the great leveler or the equalizer. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. Wait, what? I just opened F1 and the app to check the finishing order again, and I just read that Christian Horner was like his time would be better spent focusing on his team. Okay, because Toto is trying to poach Max. Match? Why did I call him Match? What the hell? Anyways, so let me pull up the sprint race results. Okay, the sprint race went as follows. It was pretty cool actually. P1 was Max Verstappen. Everyone saw him coming, but although Max qualified 4th and Norris put on an amazing pole lap, I know that he was disqualified and his time was reinstated, but then he didn't gain any advantage from it, so it's fair that his time was reinstated. And Hamilton pulled off an amazing lap, and I saw that he hit a personal best on the first sector, but I feel like I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on this, but because we didn't see much of the time, but I thought he backed off it because he kind of knew that he has the pole time. Norris's lap was deleted, but no idea what happened there. So yeah, Norris was almost 1.5 seconds ahead of Lewis with that pole lap. But then came the sprint race, and then Norris kind of made a mistake in turn 1. He tried to defend the corner. He should have just let Lewis by, like everyone said, and he would have been able to overtake him later because Lewis is driving a tractor. But for a moment, Lewis was leading the race. There was Max versus Lewis because Max was behind Lewis's butt. And yeah, that happened. It was a great race driving by Hamilton. He kept like the battle for P3 was amazing on the sprint race. And then qualifying was weird. I didn't expect Hamilton to get knocked out in Q1, but he locked up in getting into turn 11, I believe. I cannot 100% remember, but he did lock up, and that cost him the entire qualifying session, and also that compromised his race because of that. But okay, let's get on to the race and start ranking our drivers. So first we'll start with Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri drove an amazing race. He outdrove the car and he was great during the sprint, and he was really good. I'm gonna put him on A tier because I would have put him on B because it's the car being average and everything, but he outdrove the car this weekend. And man, during qualifying, it's like he just became like a Schumacher or something. Like, it's crazy. Bottas in the wet is amazing. So yeah, he drove very well, and sadly he had an engine failure and he had to retire the car. And yeah, this time he even had a good pit stop, everything. Like, I feel like with Sauber something goes wrong every week, and this time it was the engine. Last time it was the pit stops or strategy, something. So, okay, the next driver is Yuki Tsunoda. I mean, he got out qualified by Daniel and everything, but he didn't have a bad drive. He was just meh. I think I will put him on C tier. And next, Daniel Ricciardo. He drove very well this weekend. I would even put him on A tier. He drove really well. He outqualified his teammate. He was the favorite going into the weekend from the team. And he also had a new chassis because they suspected he might have must have been wrong in his previous chassis, and I think that gave him some confidence as well. And also maybe there's some truth to it because he genuinely was good, and Yuki was like saying the same thing Daniel said previously, saying that I do not know where I'm losing time. I did the best I could during his qualifying, but yeah. So I would put Daniel in 8 here, but his race sadly came to an end because of an idiot, Lance Stroll being that said idiot, and we'll get on to him later. And then P17, Logan Sargent. Oh man, bottom of the C tier. I mean, I would even put him in D tier, but he was almost on pace with Albon, but he couldn't capitalize on it. No, I would put him in D tier. And I have to add a new tier here. How do I add row below? I make it black color, gray color? No, shit. What did I do? What color was that? No. My bad. Was it green? Okay. This is gonna be the next tier. I'm gonna put his own tier for this because spoiler alert, I genuinely feel like he hit an all-time low this weekend, and his previous week is also low. So let's get on to him later, I'm sorry. And now Kevin Magnussen. This guy drove a shitty race. Like, he was good, he was okay, but man, that punt on Yuki, he just did something like what you'll do in an F1 lobby or Assetto Corsa Competizione lobby. He just went and punted Yuki and spun him out and took him out of the race during the restart. And now we get on to this idiot. P15, Lance Stroll. Aston Martin had the audacity to defend him, and they're like, oh, it's the world against us. They're all giving us penalties for nothing. They need to get this guy out. They need to get this guy out of this car. I know his dad owns the team, and their team principal, Mike crack. That guy, the dude on crack, he legit said that, oh, the team is just built around Lance Stroll. So, you know, he's the main man and everyone else is just there to make him give him a good car. I don't know where to start. I could get angry, but I'm kind of sad for all the fans because, like, literally any other driver, put Mick Schumacher in his car, put Latifi is more entertaining than this guy. I'm gonna put him in his own tier. This is like a dog shit tier. Yeah. If you look at the footage, he just punted Daniel in the back. He just sent his car right up his ass. And then he had the audacity to come on the team radio saying, oh, this idiot braked. I'm losing it because this guy, he's a horrible sportsman. The thing is, okay, making a mistake is fine. Everyone makes mistakes. If it was like anyone else, even if he did the same thing, if he reacted later and said, okay, it is my fault, accepted the fault and moved on with it, it would have not brought him this low. I would have put him in the D tier or not given him his own tier. But he is a horrible sportsman, okay? Like, I can't remember which year, but previously Daniel, Ricciardo and Lance came together as well. And then Danny had the he was a gentleman and he was like, okay, it's my fault. He admitted his fault and called it a day. He like went, spoke to him, made up things with him like a true sportsman would. But this guy just has the audacity to double down on it later on, and his team stood behind him, and they're like, "Oh, Lance got a penalty. It's just our team. It's just Lance that gets this thing." I mean, I understand Fernando Alonso's penalty previously. It was even that was justified. It was to prevent a future penalty, like so no one would be like, "Oh, Fernando didn't get penalized for this, so I shouldn't get penalized for this," and they would weaponize things like that to avoid that. They penalized him. It is fair. And after that, even this weekend, he got 3 points off his license for something, for that contact with was it with Charles, or was it he had contact with a Ferrari and he got some points off his license as well and got a penalty. Like, and Lance got less of a penalty. He got only 2 penalty points off his license for being an ignorant. I don't want to swear on this. I'm not gonna swear. But yeah, he was a dumbass. He just was blind. He didn't look at what was in front of him. He was looking at the apex and just sent it into the car in front. He did not see there was a what do you call this thing? Like when everyone breaks in a train and the one idiot who does not see you comes and slams it in your butt. It was something like that happened. He was being ignorant. I mean, I understand if this happens at anything else, at a karting event, at I don't know, Formula 3, it's acceptable, but Formula 1 is the peak. It's the peak of motoring. You need to have very good awareness to get in there. So yeah, drivers like this do not deserve a chance at F1. Like, it makes me mad just watching the replay again and again. So anyway, let's move on from this. Next, Zhou Guanyu. He did a decent race actually. I would put him C tier. Better than Yuki. He had a decent race. And then Gasly outdrove his car. He did not. I know his teammate had upgrades, but he outdrove his car. So I'm gonna put him in B tier, just because. Oh wait, Zhou goes to B2. I forgot because Lance brought the tier list down. Okay, now it's all settled. Zhou is in B tier. Gasly did a better job. And yeah, okay, that I think I will put Magnussen there. I just forgot that this is the lowest tier, and I just added a new tier for Lance. Next is Alex Albon. Pretty anonymous race by him, but he maximized what he could with that car. Didn't do anything too stupid, but there's not a big difference between him and Sargent now. I don't know. Let me look at his qualifying. He qualified 14th as well. I don't know. It's just the only reason Sargent is that low is because he finished last from everyone. And now the next driver is Esteban Ocon. Ocon drove a great race. Like, he outdrove that Alpine, put it where it did not belong, and hence why he's in the A tier as well. And Hulkenberg. This guy is an S tier driver for sure. He scored points for Haas again. Great drive by him. Didn't do anything dumb. Did what he's supposed to do. Solid drive. And then Lewis Hamilton. The only reason I'm putting him this high is because of his sprint performance. His qualifying let him down. So from all the main sessions, from sprint qualifying and race, he messed up qualifying, yes, because he said that he did some weird setup change on his car trying to find that silver bullet, but he was wrong. So I put Lewis on high A tier. If he had qualified better, I have a feeling he would have beaten George Russell in the race as well. And yeah, one mistake, otherwise he would have been in the S tier. So I'll put him in A because sprint race was great, sprint qualifying was amazing. So the next driver, Oscar Piastri. He was also someone who did a okay drive. I put him here. He suffered the consequences of this idiot's act. So, like, Danny, he was trying to not hit Oscar as well. I mean, his diffuser completely came off. He had no diffuser on his car. So, okay, and Oscar just had some slight damage on the back of his floor, so that's why Oscar couldn't catch up to Alonso. He had to defend from Hamilton. So, yeah, he did a great drive as well. No, I think I'll put him to 8 here. He was pretty good. Next, Fernando Alonso, great drive as usual. I'll put him here. The only reason I'm putting him here is because of the sprint race. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, he had a puncture and he had to retire. Yeah, I'll put him here. He was good. He was pretty good. He was also screwed up by his team strategy. And next, George Russell. George Russell, pretty anonymous weekend, middle of the bunch. I mean, he did what he's supposed to do. I could put him up there, but it's getting crowded, so I think I will bump him here. Carlos Sainz was okay, decent drive, and same with Charles. Actually, this weekend there were like pretty good drives. Perez also pretty decent. He didn't do anything stupid, maximized what he could. And yeah, wait, Lando Norris, I'll put him in S tier. I would have put him as a right at the front if he had not messed up during the sprint race, but I would say he's very close to Nico Hülkenberg. Like, he was one of the drivers of the weekend. And Max Verstappen, obviously S tier, best driver of the week. And yeah, that wraps up my tier list for this week. And yeah, that's about it actually. I think I will talk to you guys about the Miami Grand Prix pretty soon. So see you back in how many days is it gonna be? Wait, when is the Miami Grand Prix gonna be? Is it this weekend or the next? It's okay, it's 3rd to 5th May. Okay, that's 2 weeks time. Okay, see you guys in 1.5 weeks ish. So I'll start making my video for the Miami Grand Prix and see you then. Alright, goodbye, have a nice day.